So you guys have decided that the Ultimate Insane Demon's second to last victim will be Ado by Zobros and Etzer. Today I'll be remaking the first Q part of the level, and so let's see what I made and how I made it. So we are finally back again with the Ultimate Insane Demon after over 3 weeks now, and obviously the level that I'm gonna remake now is Ado. This episode will be way more interesting to me, considering that unlike the part being 8 seconds, as like some of these other parts, I think this is like 14 seconds long, so... But yeah, without further ado, let's just begin with the gameplay. Since this is Ado, which doesn't have the greatest gameplay, I don't think it'll take that long for me to make a gameplay for this. I'm very glad that I got Ado, since the entire gameplay for the cube is literally just click sync, and so I decided to do the same here, which means that most of the gameplay making will be pretty much the same. I'll put some J blocks here just to be nice. Let's have a spike here. Let's put a start position here because I'm lazy. I'll put a yellow portal here so that you go down to the floor again. I can put 2 pink dash orbs like this. Maybe space it out a little bit. What if I put a mini portal here? Maybe that could work. Since I had to spend a lot of time just adjusting the click sync to work well, I didn't really commentate that much, which is a huge problem when you're literally making a video. So I guess I'll have like another orb here, or what I can do, I can have an orb here and then a platform here. What I want there to be, I want there to be like a timing like this. Yeah, I don't know exactly how to make this work well. I spent over 10 minutes just tweaking this and trying to making it feel consistent, and after a while I managed to make it feel consistent. Yeah, that's good. I want it to be a bit shorter though, so maybe to there? Yeah, that's good. And then I guess once you exit that part and go into the other part, then it fades back on. But yeah, I feel like this is a pretty good part. So yeah, let's just see what all of the gameplay looks like in its entirety. Nice, dude, I'm actually really proud of this gameplay. I was expecting it to be pretty lazy gameplay, considering that, well, Ado does not have that good gameplay, even in the cube part. Yeah, but yeah, I actually really like this. What I'll do now, I'll just structure it off camera, and then I think I'll begin with a block design for that. So, let's see how that will go. Okay, so I've finished all of the structuring, and I've also done some changes to the gameplay, like... I felt like the yellow orb that was originally here was a little bit too evil, so I reverted that to a pad. I feel like the part just flows way nicer now. To begin with the decoration, I obviously started on the outlines, but I did some more interesting stuff with the outlines, like putting some outlines inside of the outlines. I added a lot of outlines to this, as you can tell. Then on layer 2, I want to use like these objects. So I can maybe make these black. Yeah, I kind of want to figure out a way to connect these better now. So do something like this, I guess. Alright start, but it's definitely way too simple. I also want to change the object color. And then on the same layer as I'll do this glow, I'll use these objects right here. However, those will be a white blending color. Then obviously black inner outlines on layer 4. I really like the final product of the design, but I feel like the only problem it had was that it was way too unoptimized, and I probably added a little bit too much glow to the design. We're not there yet though, as now I'm trying to make some more details to the inside, which was harder than I expected. What I can try to do is use some like wavy objects on the top of the design. Do something like this maybe, and make that like the blending color. Something that I want to do now is copy this glow, make that object color blending, and then just put that on the top. Like this, yeah, now we're talking. What if, like, on a new layer, I can try to use, like, half circles a lot? And so, where this can be, like, B2, I don't really like the overlaps. I feel like what I probably should just do is kind of, like, try to reconstruct this in a way. I simplified these circles and made it so that they kind of look like lens fillers to the design, which I think looks pretty cool and is also pretty original. I can do some like half circles on the edges. I'll use these objects right here and kind of just copy paste them. Then I can also half space some of them and make those be smaller and also further in. But yeah, that looks pretty cool. And then I guess I can put some like spinning circle objects on the inside. I spammed these rotating objects like a lot, but they actually look really cool and it's probably my favorite detail of the design. I did add some more details to them just to make them look less boring. What if I do something that like a lot of people do, very like, I can use like these tech objects, make them be object colored and then align them to the edges so that they're like frails or something. And then something else that I want to add on the edges is some bush objects and then put those on the edges here. Yeah, this is very interesting and very like strange, I guess, but it looks cool. So yeah, I like it. What if I use some fading lines here? I'll copy them like this. I can scale this down to 0.3 scale and scale this down to like 1.1 scale and then kind of just put this around like a random detail. What I'm gonna do now is the 3D. Obviously, you can never go wrong with 3D. To be honest, this 3D was basically just the same as most of my normal 3D. However, I did add some bush objects to the edges, cause that was used in 8.0. Yeah, I guess that's better. And so since I have these bush objects on the 3D, I don't really know if I should add spikes on the 3D. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, I'm actually pretty proud of this block design actually, I really like it. So I feel like what I'll do now is just copy and paste this throughout the part. I'm kind of worried for how long this will take, considering that this is a pretty detailed block design and this part is very, very long, but hopefully it won't take that long, right? And while I'm filling in the block design, I'll humbly ask you to please subscribe. I spend a lot of time on these videos and any support would be highly appreciated. I also have memberships, so smash that join button for tons of cool perks. But let's get back to me remaking 8.0. What I kinda wanna do now is do like a pretty simple custom background for this, which is basically just gonna be some like pillars. These pillars were meant to be pretty simple, however they took about an hour to design, which is probably the most out of any custom background I've ever made. I'm gonna put some lines in this. Let's say if I do something like this, and then I can also copy and paste it to the other side. It does look very weird as a white color, so what if I make it black? What if I use like these in the center maybe? I can make the inside be half opacity black and then I can just copy it, scale it down and just make it brighter with like a bit more hue each time. So do like this, that's kinda cool. I then added some glow beams to the middle of the design and made the design feel more colorful. I then added the pillars into the part and gave them some movement, which was way more annoying than I had ever expected. But yeah, I'm divided on either making 162 be like half opacity, or if I just put some like drop shadow behind the box. I'll probably do the drop shadow, yeah. So for that drop shadow, I'll just go on like, let's say layer 11. Black glow on B3, let's say -8. Make that entirely black and let's say 4 times scaled. After placing this drop shadow to all of the structures, I began with the ground spikes, which was pretty interesting and pretty fun to make. So what I want to do now is work on some ground spikes. where I want to do some more simple stuff. So let's say I'll use these ground spikes right here. If I can select them, first of all, I can copy paste them on top of each other, move that back. I could try to add like these ones, but make them like more spiky and also smaller. So make these be like yellowish as well, and then a bit less saturated, I guess. But what if I use like these ones and they can be like some spiky things that kind of stick out from the ground spikes? And then finally I want to put some like rotating objects in the ground spikes. And then I guess finally I'll add some like black glow behind all of this to section it off in a way. I then copy and pasted the ground spikes throughout the part, and then began with some arrows to fill up some empty space. So what if I take a normal arrow, which can, let's say it can just be like the color of the background but a bit brighter, and this can be also a bit brighter, but it can also be like yellow, so it'll be even brighter. After spamming some more triangles, I added some glow to the arrows. So I'm gonna make this be white blending, and I'm gonna make this just be background blending, and then shift all of it on top of itself. And then I want to copy it to the side and make this be like yellow, and then scale that down even more. What if I align this straight to the center? I then take like one of these objects, or maybe the big ones, and then scale that down. That be light background and then just way darker. I then added even more glow to the design and gave it some rings, and with that the design was actually done. And then I would spend around 10 minutes copy and pasting the arrows throughout the part. Okay, I think that's all of the arrows, so let's see how they look into the part. Yeah, I like them. They fit pretty well into the part. What I kind of want to do now are some saw blades, which for these saw blades, I'll use the classic 1.0 saw blades, these ones. First of all, I'll give them like an outline, so let's copy it, scale it up, and also rotate it like this, let's say. Make that be either blending or like light background. For this saw blade design, I spammed a lot of different types of saw blades into it, and I gave them some coloring and layering, which made them work together pretty well. And then maybe I can have this saw blade on the inside of that. The base be black, and then yeah, I feel that's kind of good as it is. Then I want to rotate it kind of like this in a way. I don't know exactly where I've seen these before, but I did see them somewhere and they look pretty cool. And then on T2, I want to add some blending glow to the top of this, like this, yeah. And then below that, I want to put some black glow. And after adding a chain to connect the saw blades to the structures, the saw blade design was pretty much done. So yeah, now I'll just put this throughout the part, and after that begin with some other details. Okay, so I've placed in all of the saw blades now, and the part is looking even more alive now, which is really nice. I feel like what I'll do now is the spike design, which surprisingly I haven't done yet. So here I kind of just want to go overboard with the like spike spam that I always do. So let's say this one can be more hued and stuff. Copy paste another one a bit further down that can be not as hued. And then I can do these spikes, which can be even smaller. These are probably the most generic spikes in the level, but to be fair, what else could I have done? Ado just uses normal spikes and nothing else. I don't want to put glow on every single one of the spikes. I kind of want to put glow on every other spike maybe. So let's say this yellow spike will have glow, but the orange spike will not have glow. So kind of like that. That's a good spike design. So yeah, I'll just put that throughout the part. And also, I don't know why I have never done this before, but I'll make the main spike group parent and easily flip this around. Yeah. So yeah, now it's time to paste the spike design throughout the part. Yeah, the part just looks so much better now with the spikes. I feel like the part is actually pretty close to finished. Now what I want to do is some slight orb design. I don't want to do too much. I can try to use this object, make that like black, and then make that be, let's say, T1. Copy it, scale that down, and make that be like the blending color, but with less saturations, more brightness. Maybe I can add like this object here. I don't know, I'm just spamming random objects here and seeing if they fit. I want all of this to be the same rotation, like this, yeah. And I then put the orb design throughout the part. Yeah, that's pretty good. I feel like the final thing that's needed now are just some pulses, but they're very boring. I'll just do those off camera. And also, this transition definitely has to be fixed. But I feel like the last fun detail that I'll add now are the names of the members of my channel. So thank you so much to all of my members: Dastinity, GhostZan, RSD621, Il Padre, Kafo, Felmix9, Wowzy, Molachat, Lime, Cohen, RionFX, Ripluck, Sketchiest, Rolling 2400, and Kirby Axolotl GMD. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This was definitely the hardest level to remake, and a special thanks to the members. As always, you guys are the best. And let's just get to the final showcase of the level so far. Now, if you're curious, there won't be any more polls, as the Ultimate Insane Demon's final victim will be Fallen Club by Tride.